If I told you that one simple shift in your mindset could turn your wildest dreams into reality in 2025 and beyond, would you believe me? Stay with me because I'm about to share the first step you must take to make that happen. And it's not what you think.
We're going live.
No. We'll do it live.
This is the Come On Man podcast. And here's your host, Paul Bauer.
What's going on, guys? It's Woo Woo Wednesday. We are going to align our chakras today. We're going to raise our vibrations and our energy. We are going to attract abundance in every area of our lives. For those of you who are new to the channel, my name is Paul Bauer, and I help men level up and get better with women. And the funny thing about leveling up and getting better with women is that it tends to make us better in all areas of our lives. So I got the idea for today's episode after taking my third pass through Andrew Cap's book, The Last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. Phenomenal book, highly recommend it. And he lays out several scripting exercises that you can do to get yourself in alignment with your goals. And more importantly, with the life that you want to live. Now, you could scoff at this stuff and dismiss it as magical thinking, as many guys do, especially in the red pill space. Sure, but that kind of doubt and skepticism will keep you stuck where you're at. So go ahead. Go ahead. Besides, it's not mysticism or magical thinking. Okay. Really, this is NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, disguised as spirituality. All right. And all we're doing from a psychological perspective is programming our subconscious minds to hyper focus on certain goals. All right. And when your subconscious believes a goal to be a reality, you start acting in such a way that leads you to that goal. It leads you to achieving that goal. Because our thoughts cause our actions cause reactions, and those reactions create the results in our lives. Okay. It's not magic. It's not quantum science. I mean, it might be. It could be spirituality. It absolutely could be, right? The thing is that it's really hard to prove the spirituality thing. It's really hard to prove the quantum science stuff. So a lot of people just dismiss it. Well, there's no evidence, all right? But you can see this with psychological effects, right? So much easier to describe it that way for the skeptics. So we're going to go over different ways that you can script your way into achieving goals so big it will blow your mind. All you need is a notebook or a journal. So I've got a journal here. All you need is a notebook, a pen, and dedicate 10 minutes to 30 minutes a day. And all we do is just write out these things. Okay. And I've been doing this on a daily basis for several weeks now. And we'll get into that here in a little bit. But I've been doing that on a daily basis, and I love it. It's my one of my most favorite things I do on a daily basis, and I start my morning with it. Before we get into it, though, guys, do please like, subscribe, hit those notifications. All right. I do have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I just found out that I'm in the top 5% of video shows on Spotify. That's pretty cool. Top 5%. I don't mean to brag. I don't mean to brag or nothing, but I'm in the top 5%, which is saying a lot because there's literally hundreds of millions of podcasts on Spotify, right? And to be in the top 5% of that, it's kind of a big deal. I'm just saying, kind of a big deal. And you can show your appreciation by sending some super chats during these live streams and help support this show. I know y'all have the money. Y'all are sending $500 super chats to these 304s out there. You can't help yourselves. I get it. You got a pretty face. You got money in your pocket. You got to just throw the money at the pretty face, right? I realize I don't have as pretty of a face as Melanie Mack. Okay. So if you send a $10 super chat. I've got a video with a lot of bouncing blubs, lots of bouncing milk jugs, right? And then if you have sent a $20 super chat, I've got another video with a shaking booty. Some might argue that is a perfect booty. Okay. I'll let you be the judge of that, but you got to send a $20 super chat. Or if you're a beer club brother, you automatically just get bumped up to that next level, whatever you send. All right. So I wanted to do this episode because I just finished the third pass of Last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. And the reason why I even started reading it again for the third time was because I was out jogging one day. And I was listening to one of the old training videos that I'm in a coaching program. For those of you guys didn't know, I'm in a business coaching program, and I joined beginning of October. I joined that program beginning of October, and they have months and months of weekly training, group training exercises that I could go back through the archive and listen to. And one of my coaches, Coach Mark von Musser, he's phenomenal. He's one of he used to work with Tony Robbins. He was the head of sales and coaching for Tony Robbins. And guy's just a phenomenal speaker, right? Well, he was talking about stacking past, present, and future gratitude. Okay, which is something I teach in my Practical Law of Attraction course. Okay, I teach that in the Practical Law of Attraction course, but I learned that from the last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read, right? And what you're doing with that, okay, is what you're trying to do is get your mind and your heart, right, in alignment with the actual feeling of gratitude, because what we're doing is we're reprogramming our subconscious mind to achieve goals. Okay. But in order to do that, in order to reprogram that paradigm, you've got to add repetition and then back it by an emotion. And two of the most strongest emotions that you can really use to reprogram that subconscious paradigm is to put love behind it or gratitude behind it. So it's really easy to put gratitude behind stuff. And so what we want to do in order to bypass our ego, because we have this ego protection layer. That ego protection layer wants to keep us stuck. It wants to keep us where we're at. Okay. And so if you say something or you get information that sort of goes against your current paradigm, your ego protection layer will reject it. Right. So if you have a future goal, let's say you want to make $100,000 a month. You've never been able to do that before. That seems completely unrealistic to you. Okay, because of your current paradigm. When you say, I'm so grateful for making $100,000 a month, your ego protection layer rejects that as nonsense. It's like, I don't believe that. That's not real. That's real for these other guys, not for me. You see what I'm saying? So in order to trick your ego protection layer into believing this stuff, so it bypasses that and goes right into your subconscious mind, a technique you can do is stacking past, present, and future goals as if they all have already happened, right? And so you find something that you're truly grateful for in the past. And the reason why is because you're grateful for it. You've had it. You've experienced it. Your mind knows what it's like to feel like that. It knows what it's like to have achieved that goal. So you're grateful for that. Man, I am so grateful for whatever happened in the past, right? And then something that you're currently grateful for, something that you are legit grateful for. And it could be something simple. Like, I'm grateful that I have food in the fridge. Some people don't know where their next meal is coming from. If you have some food in the fridge and you know where your next meal is coming from, that's something to be grateful for in the present. Yeah. So you say something from the past, from the present, and now something that you want to happen but hasn't happened yet, but you say it as if it's already happened. Now your mind's primed to believe it. You understand? So it's kind of a mental hack, right? It's a mind hack to bypass that ego. So as I'm as I'm listening to Mark, he's explaining this in a lecture for my coaching group. I'm like, oh man, I learned that from the Last Law of Attraction book I never ever need to read. I should probably listen to that again. So I had this epiphany. I need to listen to that book again. So as I'm listening to the book, right? I'm listening to the book again. I get another epiphany. I'm listening to this book and he's talking about all this different stuff. And I get this other epiphany that, you know what? I should probably introduce Andrew to Nikki. So Andrew's the guy who wrote the Last Law of Attraction. Andrew's the guy who wrote the Last Law of Attraction book you'll ever need to read. Nikki is one of my coaches. And Nikki and we're connected on Instagram, and we have each other's phone numbers, and so we're even though he's my coach, we have a pretty good relationship. And so I was like, let me get Andrew on with Nikki, right? So I introduced Andrew to Nikki. Nikki had him on his podcast, I think the Sovereign Man podcast. Nikki has a couple of podcasts that he runs, and Nikki asked him, okay, what? He's like, coach me. He's like, hey, coach me. What can I do to raise my vibration and start attracting more clients and get more enrollments, right? And so Andrew suggested picking one of the scripting exercises from the Last Law of Attraction book. And he goes, just dedicate 10 minutes a day, just scripting out to pick one of the exercises, pick all of them, do whatever, right? Just pick one though, do something that works for you, but be consistent with it. And he goes, for 10 minutes a day for the next 10 days, just start your day with that, right? So Nikki started doing that. Nikki started sitting down in the morning he would set a timer, 10 minutes, and then start doing the scripting exercise. And he did that for 10 days. And he was able to get something like 6 enrollments at 100% enrollment rate, right? Like you go out there and you have, let's say 100 breakthrough calls, and, like you might get, a good month would be an 80% enrollment rate, right? 20% of people, they're not going to have the money. They're going to have excuses. They're not going to, whatever kind of, they're going to have to do a fire dance and talk with their ancestors before they can make a decision about it, whatever, right? You're going to have 20% of people that aren't going to enroll. It's not important enough for them to enroll. And that's common. That's pretty common, right? But Nikki went on, got 6 breakthrough calls, and he got 6 enrollments after doing this, right? He really got himself in alignment with what he was doing. And so now he's got his wife, who's my other coach, Teresa. He got his wife doing this. And now she's actually starting to get enrollments. And that's not really her job in the organization. She's not really out there trying to get enrollments, but now she's knocking them dead. She's getting enrollments, right? So anyway, Nikki's like, this is blowing my mind, guys. Like, it's almost like he is fired up and he's fully in alignment with what his goals are. And so he's started challenging us to do it. Okay. And so this was like a couple of weeks ago. He's like, okay, who's going to do it for at least for the next 7 days, right? Because we meet every week. And so, all of us raised our hand, and I'm really trying to be coachable. Okay. I really tried to empty my cup. Yes, I have a Law of Attraction course, but do I know everything? No. Do I make mistakes? All the time. In fact, Coach Mark points it out to me on every fucking call. All the mistakes. Sometimes like my verbiage isn't quite right. And he goes, you know what? I just heard there, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, God, fuck, you're right. You're right. God damn it, Mark. So I'm not perfect. Okay. But even though I know this stuff, I empty that cup and I'm like, let me do what they're telling me to do. Okay. So I start doing this stuff. 3 days after I start doing this, I got another enrollment. Okay. The shit fucking works. All right. You can believe the mysticism. You can believe the magical thinking or not. It doesn't matter. It works. Okay. It doesn't matter what you believe. It works. So you might as well learn how to use this to your advantage. Okay. Shit's insane, guys. I'm telling you. So what we're doing here is we're getting our subconscious minds in alignment with believing that our goals and outcomes are a reality for us, right? So belief is a very important thing. the belief factor is paramount. Okay. If you are doing these exercises and you are not believing it, you're just constantly just going whatever and just going through the motions, you're not gonna get on board. You're not gonna see results. You know what I mean? You have to get in alignment with the belief. You have to start believing in the goal. Okay. And you have to really get emotionally involved with that goal and really put conscious emotion behind it and start truly believing in that goal, or else it's never going to become a reality. It's your ego protection layer rejecting it. Okay. So you got to recognize that for what it is. If you're just going through the motions, but you're just like, whatever, this is all bullshit anyway, you're going to stay where you're at. Okay. It's belief. Belief is a very powerful thing. Just look at the placebo effect with modern medicine, right? If you give someone a sugar pill and tell them it will cure cancer, if they really believe that that pill is going to work, their cancer is going to heal itself. This is a known scientific phenomenon, and they call it the placebo effect. It has a name, and it all comes down to the belief that this sugar pill is the magic pill. Okay. There's a story. If you guys ever watched the movie The Secret, and they're like, what? I'm not going to watch The Secret. That's chick crack. Okay. Don't watch it. But I liked it. I've watched that movie probably 20 times. It's a good movie. But there's a story in the movie The Secret where this woman had breast cancer. Okay. She actually had breast cancer. And so she just focused on being healed already. And she would say, thank you for my healing. Thank you for my healing. Right. As if her body was already in the process of healing. Okay. So she would do that all the time, focused on her healing, and she would avoid all negativity. Now, this is one thing, this is important, avoiding negativity. I just had a coaching call with one of my, my dating coach clients, right? My dating clients yesterday. And one of the things that he's really trying to do, he's been doing the affirmations and stuff like that, but he goes down rabbit holes on the internet of stuff that's completely fucking unhelpful, right? He'll go and watch home math videos. Okay. Now, home math videos are funny. The guy's an interesting artist, but the guy's a fucking incel. Why would you tune into that guy's podcast when that guy doesn't fuck? Okay. If your goal is to go out and fuck and not be an incel yourself, why would you listen to a guy like that? Because all he's doing is giving you negative, unhelpful information like statistics, right? Statistics about why you should give up. Oh, women are only going for the top 10% of guys. You might as well not even try. How about a more helpful reframe of that and go, why can't I be in the top 10%? Right? What does it take to get in that top 10%? Right? Winners find a way to win. Instead of focusing on why you should give up, focus on how to win. Okay. It just not being fat, right? Just not being obese automatically puts you in the top 25% of guys nowadays because we have such an obesity epidemic problem. Okay. So now you're not fat. Now learn some game, work on your frame. You're already in the top 5% of dudes. Okay. It's not that fucking hard, but you guys are focusing on the negative and that's keeping you where you're at. You understand? So get rid of the negative, get rid of anything that doesn't serve you, anything that doesn't help you achieve your goal. Get fucking rid of it. It's not helpful. Okay. So old girl on The Secret got rid of all negativity, completely got rid of it all, focused on her healing. Okay. And then her and her husband watched nothing but comedies for months, just nothing but like when they would sit down and watch TV, they would watch something funny. They'd watch something where she had belly laughs, really try to raise that positive emotional vibration. Okay. And after several months, the cancer was fucking gone. And the doctors were like flabbergasted. Like, how the fuck did this even happen? Right? It's up here. It's up here. Okay. You got to get in alignment with it and fucking believe it. You've got to believe it's reality. All right. The power of belief is mind-blowing. All right, so we're going to get into some actual scripting techniques and like how you could do it. And these are really fun, guys. These are really fun. So I want you to, if you guys do it and you start practicing this stuff, I really want you guys to have fun with it. We'll talk about that in a minute. But before we do, follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Get on my email list.comeonmanpod.com, and get my ebook, She's Made You Weak. It's like 11 pages. It'll take you 10 minutes to read it. But this explains why your attraction is eroding in your marriage or your relationship. And it's a subconscious process that if you don't know that's happening, you're going to fall victim to it, and then you're going to wonder what the hell happened. Okay, that's what happens to most guys. What the hell happened? Everything was hot and heavy in the beginning. Now we're in a dead bedroom, and she's cheating on me. I don't know what happened. Like, what happened? So you gotta have the defense against the dark arts. Okay, and women don't know they're doing it. They have no idea they're doing it. It's completely subconscious. It's a part of their evolutionary psychology. So you can't really blame them because they don't know that they're doing it. Okay. So all you could do is control yourself and how you show up, and learn how to defend against it, and you're going to be just fine. Just fine. Get that. I'll also mail you some free stickers too. But if you don't want those stickers, just put "don't want stickers" in the address field. And what we are talking about on Woo Woo Wednesdays, guys, is the law of attraction. If you didn't know, I have a practical law of attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. You can take the course. And it is about 5 hours. It really breaks down the psychology of law of attraction. It removes all the mysticism, all the chick crack, all the aligning the chakras and vibrations and all that kind of stuff. And it makes it simple, easy to understand, and you can start implementing it today. All right. So check that out. Let me play a commercial for that. We'll start talking about some of these scripting exercises. Are you struggling to find a good quality woman? They are very rare indeed these days. If you spend any time at all watching content in the men's podcast space, or you spend time on dating apps or going out to clubs, you're seeing low quality, promiscuous women. You're finding women with daddy issues and personality disorders, or a myriad of other red flags, and you are frustrated. I get it, brother, but what if I were to tell you that the reason why you're only seeing these types of women is because of your mindset, because of your paradigm. We get what we focus on in life, and you have trained your mind to focus on the type of women that you don't want. So those are the types of women that keep showing up for you again and again. Let's change that mindset today. If you're a guy looking to attract high quality, submissive women into your life, then I've got the perfect solution for you. And let me tell you, brother, it's all about mindset. That's right. You've got to reprogram your thinking to focus on the type of women you do want. That's where my practical law of attraction course comes in. It's packed with proven psychology-based techniques that will help you manifest your dream woman. Trust me, you won't find this stuff anywhere else. Explained in such a simple, easy-to-use way. And let me tell you, when you start using these methods, you'll be amazed at how quickly things start changing for you. Picture this, you're out on the town, feeling confident and magnetic. All the women are drawn to you like moth to a flame. And best of all, you're attracting the type of women that are submissive and high quality. It's not that they weren't there before, it's that you weren't aware of them before. My course will teach you how to be more hyper aware of the kind of women that you actually want. It will teach you to believe that you're the most attractive man around. And when you believe it, you'll carry yourself that way. So what are you waiting for? Sign up for my course today. Visit loa.comeonmanpod.com. That's loa.comeonmanpod.com. Start living the life you've always dreamed of. Don't miss out on this opportunity to up your game and find the woman of your dreams. The law of attraction is nothing without action. So what are you waiting for? Act now. Act now, guys. Brother Kamal says, with a €249 super chat, my chakras predict you will break 30,000 subs next year. Well, we'll see. I used to have 30,000 subs on my first TikTok account, and then I got banned. And now I finally broke 24,000 after 2 years. 2 years on my current TikTok account. It took me to get back up to 24,000. It's a grind, man. Let me play this because Kamal is also a Beer Club brother, so I'm going to bump him up to the $10 super chat level.
Thank you for the super chats. Movies bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west.
God bless him. Kamal says, he also says, I've been practicing visualizing my dream woman in present tense for the last 2 weeks. If event management chick isn't your dream woman, okay, all right. Oh, man. Okay, so the first technique that we're going to talk about is story scripting. Story scripting. So how do we do it? Okay, so this is one where you're going to need a journal or a notebook, all right? And you're going to do this at least 10 minutes a day. But what we're going to do is we're going to write a story. We're going to sit down and write a story, right? As if you're already living your ideal life. So this is a little bit different than your typical affirmation. So a lot of the guys in the beer club brotherhood, right? They're doing affirmations on a daily basis. They're doing gratitude practice, and they're saying stuff like, I am grateful for making $100,000 a month, right? That's an affirmation. I am grateful for blah, 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 blah. Okay. That's not what you're doing. You'll start off with, I'm so grateful for, but then you start writing out a story about you're driving down the road in your Ferrari and the wind's blowing in your hair because it's a convertible, and you can smell the ocean breeze because you're driving up the coastline of Paris or France or whatever. I don't know. Never been there. You see what I'm saying? But you're creating a story that's sort of vivid in your mind, and it allows you to sort of imagine what's happening. Okay. And you really want to be as descriptive as possible. Really use all 5 of your senses to tell this story and what's going on. And your girl's sitting next to you, and she's got long flowing blonde hair, and she's got a perfect body, and she's wearing, I don't know, like very low cut sundress that makes her look gorgeous. And she's wearing this kind of perfume, and it smells amazing, and all that kind of stuff. You really want to use all of your senses and really get into the feeling of it being real. What do you feel like in that moment? Is like you got this girl with you and she's just enamored with you. What would that feel like? Right? That you got to think about it as if it's already happening. Okay. Describe it in vivid detail, the scenario that you want to happen. Not just, I'm so grateful that I make $100,000 a month, but what does that $100,000 a month do for your life? Are you able to travel with that? One of the things that Coach Mark was saying on the call yesterday was that a big part of manifesting large sums of money is giving yourself a reward for it. But if all you're doing is acquiring more money and not doing anything with it, it loses the luster. You see, it loses the feeling behind it. It sort of becomes like a thing that you do, and it's not fun anymore. But you've got to have that like, oh, this is so awesome. What can I do with this? I can, if maybe you're a charitable person, you want to go out and help more people, right? Well, I'm going to be able to donate to soup kitchens. I'm going to be able to provide food for all these homeless people, whatever it is. I don't like homeless people. That's just, that's for another episode. But you know what I'm saying? Like if you're a very kind-hearted, giving person, like you can do so much good in the world with this. You know what I'm saying? So you got to think about all the things that not just acquiring the wealth gives you, but what you're doing with it and how that makes your life better and more fulfilled. And one of the things that I've been wanting to do for years now is travel the world more, see more things. I have a bucket list item of going and seeing Machu Picchu. I've always wanted to see Machu Picchu. I've always wanted to go to Tokyo. I always wanted to go to the New Japan Pro Wrestling store in Tokyo, Japan. Right. So as I'm writing out as I'm doing my scripting, I'm writing stuff out like that. I'm so grateful that I have the freedom to travel anywhere I want. I'm climbing the mountains of Machu Picchu, and it's beautiful and green there, and the jungles are gorgeous, and all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to be as descriptive as possible. Okay. Now, why this works is it immerses you in the feelings of your desired reality, right? It's triggering the subconscious bridge. It's triggering the subconscious to bridge the gap between your current state and your desired state. Okay. as soon as your subconscious believes this to be real, and that's what visualization really helps do, because your subconscious mind can't tell the difference between what's real and what's imagined, it will start bridging that gap. It will start figuring out how to get you to that reality because it believes it's already happened. So how did that happen? It starts coming up with ideas for you, okay? It harnesses the principle that your mind cannot distinguish between vividly imagined and real experiences. So you have to make this story real and be very descriptive with it. You understand? So that's story scripting. That's just the first one. The next one is spoken scripting. So if you don't have a notebook and you suck at writing, so one of my problems is my handwriting is atrocious. It's so bad. My handwriting has been forever ruined because of the US military. If you guys didn't know, the US military forces you to write in all capital letters. And they do that because writing in all caps makes things more legible. And so if you ever, anything the Navy does when it comes to logging, it can be used in the court of law. So it has to be legible in case it ever gets used in court or whatever. People have to be able to read your handwriting. So they force everybody to write in all capital letters in very legibly. Well, before I joined the military, I used to write in cursive, right? Do you remember cursive? Do you guys remember cursive? I used to write in cursive and I was really good at writing in cursive. And then when I joined the military, I had to force myself to write in all capitals. And I did that for 4 years straight, writing in logbooks, all capital letters. And I would do it pretty slow and it was really legible. But as I got out of the military and I started developing more bad habits, I found that I almost couldn't write in cursive anymore. I have to force myself to write in cursive. Right. So what ends up happening is I end up trying to write in all capital letters quickly, and that all capital letters quickly looks like garbage. It looks like absolute garbage. So if that's you and writing's not your thing, you can do this with spoken scripting. Okay. So you don't have to write it out, but you can speak it, right? Speak your desired reality aloud with emotion and conviction. You can either record yourself doing it. And this is really helpful if you record yourself doing it, because you can listen to it back later, especially when you're sleeping at night. If you're sleeping at night, your ego shuts down, your conscious mind shuts down, and you basically have direct access to your subconscious mind. So you can listen to it. You can go on Amazon and get sleeping earbuds or earphones. I have those, and I'll listen to recorded affirmations of myself all night long because I love hearing myself talk. Not because I've got direct access to my subconscious mind when I'm doing that, right? So you can basically do the same thing as writing it out, but speak it out. Speak your desired reality out loud with emotion and conviction, and either record yourself. You could speak to someone, right? This is what a lot of the guys do in Beer Club. We have a separate gratitude group. Guys will record their gratitude or they'll video it. It's the same thing. You're playing it for other people. Or you can just do it yourself. You're in the car, you're driving to work, you've got to commute anyway. You might as well turn off the radio, turn off an audiobook, and just spend 10 minutes speaking out in present tense your desired reality. Be as descriptive with it as possible. Because as you're speaking this out, as you're telling the story out loud, you're imagining it. You understand? And why it works, right? So the vibrational energy also of the spoken word, as we speak, we're actually putting out literal vibrations. So the vibrational energy of the spoken word amplifies the message, and it sends that to your subconscious and the universe. Okay? We're getting into the woo-woo here, but that vibrational energy of your voice sends it into your ear holes and out to the universe, all right? And words spoken with belief carry magic. I'm going to say that again. Words spoken with belief carry magic, and they're also magnetic. So think like your very soul. All right. Now, this is really getting into the esoteric. Okay. This is sort of getting into the Gnostic belief. All right. The Gnosticism, the Gnostics believe this. And Honestly, so do the Kabbalists, right? So the Jewish Kabbalists, they believe this too. I believe the Hindus also believe this. A lot of different world religions believe this on some level. Okay. So if you're an atheist, just grin and bear it. Okay. But if you're a religious person, it's not so hard to believe, because every major religion says that we're created from the source, right? God created us in his image. What does that mean? Does that mean he made us look like men? No, that's not what that means. Okay. Think of it like your very soul. Your very soul is a part of God. All right. It's literally a piece of him. And how did God create the entire universe? Right? How did he do it? He spoke it into existence. Let there be light, and there was light, right? You've all read Genesis, right? No, you haven't? Oh, it's pretty good story. He spoke it into existence. So you're literally doing the same thing. You're going to speak your reality into existence. The power is within you to speak your reality into existence with conviction. All right. It's like your very soul is literally a part of the being that created the entire universe. He gave you that power. Speak your reality into existence. And you could do that with the spoken storytelling. Okay. And you got to say it with conviction, put a lot of detail into it, put a lot of emotion into it. You understand? Oh my God. Kamal sent a €23.99 because this information is invaluable. Oh my God. Thank you so much for that. I'm going to give you the $20 super chat, obviously.
Super chat, we see you there. Shake it, dance without a care. Send it love from everywhere. Groovy beats we all can share. Your support is so divine. Moving closer to the line. Thank you, you're the best. Party on, we never rest.
And canceled. That's I played that video or the bouncing boobs video, and I immediately get demonetized every time. So guys, keep those super chats rolling. All right. So those are the first two things. We got some more to come here. Oh, hey, look, Nurse Chick's in the house. Nurse Chick.
So naughty.
I'm gonna come.
Yes. Nurse Chick has a new strategy, guys. So what she's been doing for months, what Nurse Chick's been doing for months is she gets up at 3 a.m. and she goes down to the gym and starts working out in the gym because she's trying to beat the morning crowd and all the coal miners out here and all the construction workers and stuff like that. Those guys go into the gym at like 5 a.m. So she tries to get down there so she can get her workout out in before the morning rush. And then she starts her work day, and she basically gets 4 hours of sleep a day. Right. Well, I got a home gym. I got a gym in my garage. And then I also have a total gym in my bedroom. And, you can do calisthenics anywhere. So she gets this epiphany. Why am I getting up so goddamn early? I'm going to get up at 5 when you get up, Paul, and I'm going to just go work out in your garage. And then I'm going to go to work. I'm like, that's awesome. So she does that. And now she gets the enjoyment of my morning wood. Okay, guys, listen, before we get too far into this, I want to invite you to join the beer club. I mentioned that the beer club, we have a separate sub gratitude group. It's a great place to get your mind right. Just practicing gratitude by itself without putting future goals behind it and stuff like that really forces you in the present moment and really helps you realize how good things are in your life already. We have that in the beer club group, right? It's just a good group of dudes. We have over 50 guys now, and the guys are in there swapping notes. They're in there leveling up in all areas of their life, whether it's mental health, whether it's women, whether it's their career, whether it's Bitcoin investments. We have guys from all walks of life that know a little something about everything, and they've been through what you've been through, and you can swap notes with these guys and get accountable with these guys and start leveling up in your life. Let me play a commercial for that.
Here's a harsh truth that everybody gets upset about online when I say it. They get upset because of their ego investment into the fairy tale idea of love and partnership. They get upset because of their ego investment into the idea that their woman is their best friend, their confidant, and they think that love will conquer all, and that their woman will be there through thick and thin. The truth is that as a man, your woman is hardwired biologically and psychologically to want you to be her rock. It doesn't work the other way around. Women do not care about your struggles as a man. They may think they care. They may even want to care, but her evolutionary DNA will not let her care. If you bring her your problems, she will lose attraction for you over time, and she will leave. Now, whenever I talk about this, people lose their minds and start talking about men unaliving themselves. The faster that men learn that women don't care about our struggles, the faster we'll save the lives of men. Men off themselves because of their own ego investments in the Disney fairy tale lie. And when that fairy tale goes up in flames, they get zeroed out and they end things. Men do need a proper outlet for dealing with their problems, but going to their woman isn't the answer. Men need a tribe. They need a brotherhood. That's why I created my beer club. It's a monthly virtual hangout for men only. It's a place where men can be men. It's a place where men can talk about guy stuff without having to worry about offending women. It's a place where they can go without having to worry about being called toxically masculine. It's a place where they can go to solve their problems. Because men solve problems. Women cause problems, you dig? Visit beer.comeonmanpod.com. That's beer.comeonmanpod.com to sign up.
Yes, indeed. And then, guys, if you're having problems in your relationship right now and you don't know what to do, you think you've tried everything, but you still love her, you want to turn that around, book a free call with me. Go to call.fixdeadbedrooms.com. Well, let's get your guys' relationship heated up again, all right? All right. Man, it's unfortunate I had to put Miles in timeout. He's shows up to the podcast pretty regularly, but we're raising our vibration today. I don't need that negativity in the comments. All right. So the next concept here, we have statement scripting. Now, a lot of you guys, especially you guys in Beer Club, are probably going to be more familiar with this. This is more along the lines of writing out an affirmation, right? But we're going to write these out. So what you're going to do is choose a concise statement about your desire. You can do more than one, but pick at least one. And it could be something along the lines of, I'm so happy and grateful I make $100,000 a month. Okay. It could be as simple as that. And then you want to repeat that over and over again, about 15 to 55 times in a session. Okay. You want to, at very least, write it out 10 or 15 to 55 times. Okay. Now you can either do it written or spoken. All right. But sometimes writing it out just really adds a little more emphasis to it. Now, if you really want to put a little more emphasis on it, as you're writing it out, read it out loud too. Okay. So why would that work? Well, that repetition ingrains the desire into your subconscious, fostering the belief and removing resistance. The practice aligns your vibration with the frequency of your goal. But again, don't just write it out and just do it just to do it, right? You really want to put some emotion behind it and belief behind it. Okay. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. You really are just wasting your time. The next one we have here is why it's so great. Why it's so great scripting. Okay. This really, what you're doing with this one is you're putting some reasoning behind it. Like why are you doing what you're doing? Why is your goal a benefit to you and other people? Right. So you want to write or speak a statement about your manifestation or your goal, followed by reasons why it's so great. Right. So, for instance, my job is so great because the commute is easy. The pay is huge. The people are friendly. You know, one of the things that I do, because I script out about why I like helping men fix their marriages. But one of the things is it's so great because it's fulfilling seeing these guys get positive change in their life. I already have in my clients, my new clients for my new dead bedroom program. I'm already seeing results from these guys. They're hitting me up on Telegram going, "Oh my God, dude, that worked." It's like, dude, that's such a fulfilling thing to see these guys benefiting from what I'm showing them, right? That's why it's great. So if you put some emphasis on why it's so great that you're achieving your goal, why it's so great, what's the benefit? If you think about that kind of stuff and put some why behind it, man, it makes it even better. It really allows you to get into the emotion of having it already, right? So by associating positivity with your desire, this method enhances gratitude and joy, right? We're putting the emotion behind it, which are powerful vibrational alignment mechanisms for attraction. The next one we have here, write a letter to a friend. Okay. This one and the next one are very similar to what Corey Wayne teaches in How to Be a 3% Man. Right. And I actually took it and added that to my book. Where the hell is here it is. I added that to the long-term relationship chapter and everything I wish I knew when I was 18, but Corey Wayne talks about this. But what I talk about in my book and what Corey talks about is writing a love letter to your future girlfriend as if you're already in this relationship with her, right? So you can do a similar thing, writing a letter to a friend. And you want to write this letter as though you're updating a friend on how your life has improved after achieving your goals. So you want to write it as if you've already attained the goals and how awesome it is. And you've done this before. Like, think about your Christmas letter. We have a lot of people send out the family Christmas letter talking about what happened this year and all the awesome things that have happened this year and whatever. You could do the same thing about your future goals and write it out like you're writing a letter to your friend to keep them updated on what you're doing, and be descriptive with it. Like, oh, my business is taking off. I'm making $100,000 a month. And with that, I'm able to travel and see New Japan Pro Wrestling's wrestling store in Tokyo, Japan. And I was able to travel to Machu Picchu this year with Nurse Chick. And it was such a beautiful experience. We decided not to hike through the jungle, but take the tram to Machu Picchu because we didn't want to spend 3 days hiking in the jungle. But, like, we also got to go out in town and experience the local life. And it's such a different country there. And I can't believe how people live there, but it's so awesome to see these people that no matter what their circumstances is, right? Like you're writing out a letter as if you're updating your friend on what's going on with your life, right? But all that kind of stuff allows you to use your imagination, which makes it more real. And again, putting a emotion and making it as real as possible to your subconscious mind is going to help your subconscious mind believe it, right? So the exercise personalizes the manifestation, making it feel more real and authentic, and it engages emotional connections, which further immerses you into the experience, right? Next one's very similar. So instead of writing a letter to your friend, you write a letter expressing your gratitude to the universe or God. If you're a more religious person, write out a letter to God. Okay. Whatever helps you. Okay. If you're a Christian, that might actually be a better practice for you. If you're, I don't know, if you're a Hindu, maybe you write the letter to Vishnu. I don't know. Right? Whatever your beliefs are, right? But you can write a letter out to the universe and express your gratitude for the universe in granting your desires. Okay. Oh man, Brother John with a $5 super chat. Paul always finds a way to get it back to wrestling. Yeah, right, I do. All right. He's a Beer Club brother, so I'm gonna give him the bouncing bubs for that one.
Thank you for the super chats. Boobies bouncing, can't stop that. From the east to the west, you are the best. Keep those chats coming in, let's do it all again.
So that bartender of the chick shaking, and of course her boobs are shaking with that. brother Jeff from Beer Club sent me that video, and I went looking at that lady's profile, and she's just like I think her profile is like something barmaid, so somebody. And literally every one of her videos is her like reaching above the bar and then like bringing her arms down and making her boobs jiggle and stuff. It's great. It's just, bless her heart. Bless her. All right. So the thank you letter for the universe, it works because gratitude is a high frequency emotion that aligns you with abundance and amplifies the law of attraction. Okay. So that's why we do the gratitude. The next one, future pacing events. This is pure NLP. This is neuro-linguistic programming. Okay. Future pacing. So you want to describe a sequence of events that led you to your manifestation as if they have already occurred. So what you typically do, if we're going to do a future pacing exercise, if we're doing that in a coaching call, is I will ask you to imagine a future state where you've already achieved your goal. Okay. And then I'll sort of have you disassociate from that. And maybe like all of a sudden you're in a TV set, right? And then you come out of the TV set and then you pick up a remote and you hit rewind. You hit rewind on the TV set. So you achieve this goal. You're in the moment. It's amazing. Let's rewind, right? And then as you're rewinding, you see all the events that led up to that a moment, right? And so you can sort of see how that happened. Or as you're doing it, like you have the power of the rewind button while you're in the experience, while you're associated with the experience. And you can do the same thing. You rewind it, and sort of imagine all the steps it took to get there. Okay, that will help you really make it real, right? If you can imagine all the steps it took for you to get there, you don't have to know all the details of all the steps, but just a general idea of all the steps that it took to get to that place makes it more real, right? So it bridges the gap between imagination and reality, creating a roadmap for your subconscious to follow. If your subconscious has like bits and pieces of how you got there, it can fill in those gaps a little bit easier, right? You'll start getting these epiphanies like, oh, I need to go this one place. I need to go do this. I need to read this book. I need to watch this video, The next one here, this is really the last one, is detail-oriented visualization in scripting. So while scripting describes sensory details, this is also NLP, okay? So you really want to describe the sights, the sounds, the smells, what things feel like, the touch, right? You want to use all your 5 senses because all of that really makes it real, right? That's NLP. Right? What do you see around you? What colors do you see? Right? What do you hear? Do you hear birds chirping in the background? Right? What's the breeze like? You're driving your Ferrari. Like, what does the wind feel like on your face? I would say in my hair, but we all know. We all know I'm bald. Okay. So why that works is because you're engaging multiple senses, which deepens the visualization, making the experience more vivid and believable to the subconscious mind. Okay. And that's really important, right? It's really important that you make it believable to the subconscious. Okay. Now, yesterday at our group coaching session, Nikki was talking about doing the scripting for 10 minutes a day, which is what I've been doing. But Mark suggested upping it to 3 times a day. That's why at the beginning of the show, I said 10 minutes to 30 minutes, because what Mark suggests is doing it for 10 minutes in the morning, 10 minutes at lunchtime, 10 minutes in the evening. But he said by doing that, we keep our vibration high all day long and not just early in the morning, which I've noticed like when I sit down in the morning and I do my scripting for 10 minutes, like I'm in a good mood. Like I'm ready to hit the ground running. I try to send out my 10 DMs on TikTok and 10 DMs on Instagram. If you guys ever get a DM, it's me. It's me. I don't have a team. It's me. I'm literally DMing you. But I send out 10 on both. I would send out 10 to people on Facebook, but I can't DM you first. If you're watching on Facebook, you have to DM me first. That's just how Facebook's got that set up. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to put a post out on Facebook that says, hey, if this is your problem, DM me, so that you'll, think about DMing me. But I do that, and I'm already in a sort of a high state of vibration, but by the end of the day, my vibration's not always there, right? I'm not always in the best mood, So I like what Mark suggests about doing that sort of in the middle of the day and really sort of keeping that consistent. It's kind of like my TRT injections. Yes, I'm on TRT. My nurse practitioner has me doing it daily. And some people are like, what? Because they do their TRT injections weekly or twice a week or something like that. And what she said is, well, if you do it daily, it keeps it more consistent. And you don't have any kind of problems with spikes and drops and, all highs and lows and all that kind of stuff. It stays more consistent in your bloodstream. And she's like, naturally you produce testosterone on a daily basis. You don't do it like on Sunday, right? You don't do one big burst on Sunday. So I'm like, okay. So it's kind of the same concept. You have to follow your doctor's advice. Okay. I'm not telling you how to do TRT. So he also said there are studies that show that 3 10-minute sessions of meditation work better than 1 30-minute session. So, and because of the same principle, right? You're consistently reinforcing that information and keeping your thoughts focused on it. You're basically keeping it at the forefront, more times throughout the day than just once in the morning where, you're thinking about it. Right. So it made me think, as he's talking about this, it made me think of the 3-6-9 method of scripting that I'm having one of my clients do now. It's not 10 minutes a day, 3 times a day. It's like write out your affirmations or say your affirmations 3 times in the morning, 6 times in the afternoon, and then 9 times at night. Are the numbers 3, 6, and 9 magic? Nikolai Tesla thought so, but do I think so? No, I don't think so. It's more of the exercise, being consistent with it and keeping it on the forefront of your mind. So you can just do the same amount 3 times a day, or you can do the 3-6-9 method because you're putting some kind of magical belief behind it. Whatever gets you to fucking do it, right? If the moon is made out of cheese and it gets you to go to the gym, if the moon's made out of cheese and gets you to write in your scripting journal 3 times a day, then by God, the moon's made out of cheese. Shout out to Ryan Stone, that son of a bitch. All right, that's what I got for this episode, guys. I hope you guys got a lot of value out of it. Next week on Woo Woo Wednesday, we're going to be talking about the scripting stuff again, but I will be breaking down the NLP methods that are taking place when you're doing it. Okay, we're going to take out the magical thinking completely from it and break it down from a neuro-linguistic programming perspective. So that might be fascinating for you. Okay. Other than that, tune into the podcast on Friday. It will be Frame Friday. We are up to chapter 9 in Wraith's book, Power Frame Identity. And that one's all on frame in everyday life, using frame in your everyday life. So that should be helpful for you. But other than that, guys, I have new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So subscribe, hit those notifications. Apparently, I'm in the top 5% of podcasts on Spotify. Thank you for everyone that sounded off in the live chat. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for the super chats. That really supports the show probably more than anything else. And then follow me on social media. The links are in the description. Oh, I see my dog back there. Get on the email list and get the ebook, She's Made You Weak. That explains sort of the betatization process and why your girl loses attraction over time in a relationship and how you can prevent that. Get my practical law of attraction course, loa.comeonmanpod.com. We talk about stuff like this, but it's a 5-hour course. It explains the law of attraction, the history of it. And then we take out the magical thinking of it and really break it down into a psychological perspective. So check that out. You can start using it today. Let's see here. Get in the beer club, beer.comeonmanpod.com. And then one-on-one coaching is available if your marriage is on the rocks and you want to turn things around and you think you've tried everything. I'm telling you, if you're new to the space you haven't tried everything. Okay. Book a free call with me. Go to call.fixedbedrooms.com. That's all we have. We will see you guys on Friday.
This has been the Come On Man podcast. Now, go out and get it.